So I'm gonna tell you guys a very important story from how I went from delivering pizzas to making my first 10k a month online. This is a very similar circumstance which most people are in today. Like they're working a normal job, maybe they're not delivering pizzas, supermarkets, fucking helping out, driving, Uber, whatever you're doing to going on and making that first 10k. Because obviously you can talk about millions and hundreds of thousands, but that doesn't even seem possible if you haven't even made $1, let alone 10k online. So how did I go from making literally, I used to get £8 an hour from Pizza Hut, and then I'd get £1 for every delivery that I did. That was basically just to cover the petrol cost. So how did I go from that to making my first $10,000? Well, it started off very slow. It wasn't always LA panoramic views and Dubai skylines, and OnlyFans management. It was copywriting. I started off just like a lot of people, just like a lot of graduates from the online money space in Hustlers University, and was running copywriting up. Now, it didn't actually teach me anything about making money online, but it taught me a lot about discipline. It taught me a lot about pushing out, and taught me a lot about getting out of my comfort zone, outreaching clients every single day, messaging with people online every single day, how to make connections with people in the Discord group. And now it's enabled me to help make connections with people in Telegram groups in the space that I'm in, which has helped make me a lot of money. And from there, obviously, it didn't go to plan. I picked up a couple of clients, but I realized this wasn't for me. It's too slow. It's too slow. The amount of DMs I would have to send in order to get to 10k per month, the amount of hours I would have to spend doing something I hated to get to 10k per month was just not worth it for me. So that's why I stopped. And I moved into SMA. I saw Iman Gadzi drop an SMA video. I didn't even have the money to buy his course. I didn't get his one. I went to a cheaper option. And again, did it teach me much about making money online? No. Did it teach me about persistence and managing people and kind of building a sort of social media agency? Yeah, a little bit, but it didn't get me to that end goal of making my first 10k. Because again, I was trading my time for money. I was just online freelancing, let's say on Upwork. So I'd have different skills that I would kind of train myself in, whether that's graphic design, whether that was social media management, and basically just signing clients, building their social media up, coming up with sort of campaigns. But it was just random shit like singers and brands and even a restaurant was building their Instagram. But was that going to make my first 10k a month? No. Or if it did, that would be kind of like capping out. That would be like capping out. Like the social media managers that run big influencers and artists and DJs, they don't actually get paid a lot of money, like 5 to 6, 7, 8k a month max. And that's a lot of time to be putting in for an income which barely even gets you a good life. So I knew that wasn't for me then. I needed to leverage my skills in an industry or with clients that really let me get my full potential in regards to my earnings. Like, I'm not here to play about, I'm here to scale something to the moon. And I realized that I needed different elements to the biz. So for example, when I'm scaling someone's social media for music or for a restaurant, there's no subscription model there. There's not too many upsells you can put in place. The scalability isn't too high. It's very much dependent upon the demographic of the audience. But when it comes to the business model that I chose afterwards, which was OnlyFans, when I was weighing up the odds, should I do this, should I do that? It just clicked, because you only have to work so hard to get in a certain amount of subscribers before making 10k per month is passive every single month, because you set up a sales team, you're posting content on Instagram. Obviously, you have to figure out what to do. It is quite technical. But once you understand what to do, it's very simple. It made sense. And I come across, who's my good friend now, Luca, and I met him in London. And this is when I was trying to do my clothing line whilst doing SMA. And I realized that if I was doing my clothing line, I'd just be digging myself deeper in a fucking hole. Not a financial hole, but just that if I started a clothing brand, I'm someone that likes to fight, someone doesn't like to give up. And if I really, really went for it a bit further, maybe I wouldn't have stopped. Who knows? Maybe it would be something today. But more than likely, I wouldn't have made as much money as I have with OnlyFans management. And I see him in his first month go and scale and do like 10, 15k a month profit. And that was enough for me to go all in. Dropped everything, jumped in with OFM, I was kind of wheedling my way through Telegram groups and getting bits of free game from random people, and a lot of trial and error. And it was easier back then. It's not like it was today. The business model today, it's harder, but it's much sweeter for the people at the top. So what I mean by that is like all of the dead agencies, brand managers that aren't serious, don't know the real game, just get free game off YouTube. They've all been rinsed out a while ago. Like a quick social media ban wave will come and they'll just fuck off back to doing SMA or copywriting again. But then it leaves just more talent, more subscribers, more money to be made and squeezed by the top, 1% of agencies. So you kind of have to know a bit more, but once you have that bit more, you can do a lot more with it. So it wasn't the same. But I signed my first client, and now my first client was actually a couple. They was doing like tapes and stuff with each other, but I'm not really going to go into that. Selling it, managed to make 2-3K a month with them. Was bringing a couple more clients, again, just 2 to 3K a month clients, which was way better than it was with SMA. However, it wasn't that I wanted, that 10K a month profit, recurring every month, just from setting up a good team and a good system. And that's it, it's done, it's printing. And then I signed a dwarf. And now dwarf models on OnlyFans now, yeah, it's kind of common. Like there's a couple about, you've seen them. Back then, I had the first dwarf in the UK, and I believe like the second or third in the whole world. There was a couple girls out here in LA actually that were smashing it, and they were trying to steal my model every single week. I was literally going to war, trying to keep her on board, because it's like basically, back then I wasn't the agency I am now. It's like, imagine a model goes to Burnley. Yeah, she's making more money than she is if she's playing for her Sunday league team, so she's making bare cash. She was making 150K a month. But when fucking Man City come in, and they've got all these other girls, they got the LA life, they got the fucking lifestyle, flying her in first class, being around other little people which she loved. That's like fucking Man City coming in, or Saudi coming in with a contract which is just too good to refuse. But somehow I managed to retain them multiple times. And from there, we made our first million with that model, along with others that come through the door kind of off the back end of that. And we scaled very quick. So like I said, our first months we were getting a bit 2-3K a month retainers. It was good. But then in month 2, we managed to hit 50. This is after bringing in that model. We literally just started doing 3K a day towards the back end of that last month. So it produced us about 50 grand. And then after that, in month 3, 100K. And that was when I was in Prague. And then after that, I came home, we moved to Manchester, and we kept these group of clients, and that's when we scaled up to 300K, and we kept maintaining it, but then we hit a plateau. When I say a plateau, we didn't hit a plateau. We got fucked over, basically. Complications happened. People were involved in our business, which, I'm even like, pisses me off even thinking about it. And we ended up losing all of our clients and getting robbed for over £100,000. And although that was a hard pill to swallow, like that was not easy to be 19 years old, getting robbed for 100,000 Great British pounds. And even more than that, because you go to court, we're going through the legal processes, spending like multiple 5 figures on just letters and consultations with lawyers. And then realizing that the only people that actually win in these scenarios are the lawyers. They're just trying to long you out, get as much fucking consultations as they can, spend 10 minutes introducing themselves. Bro, I spoke to you last week, I don't need an introduction. That's just cost me £200. So yeah, essentially lost the whole agency. And then I'm in a position where I've got like a big team that are fulfilling these accounts, 300 grand per month. And I've got not a lot of money to even pay them with, because I was spending a lot of money on lifestyle and I was banking on that 6 figures to come in. And I've got no models for them to even chat on or for them to even market. So I've got this big team that are relying upon me to get fed, but I've got no way to even pay them, and I've got no clients for them to run on. So long story short, you kind of went in the hole, and I managed to retain all the team because I knew if I just focused on recruitment, I've already got the team. If I just went all in on recruitment again, just like I did at the beginning, I'll be able to rebuild the agency very quickly. And it'll be so seamless once I get those models, because I've got boom, everyone's ready to go, everyone's wearing on. So we kind of just paid the team even though they weren't even working, so we could keep them from going with other agencies. And this allowed them to stay loyal. This allowed us to scale up super quick and get back in the game again. Most people would have cut costs, fuck this, restart, new business model, or like, all right, fuck the team, let's just restart the whole team once we get more clients. But I took that kind of gamble to keep them on board. What's the worst that can happen? We lose out. We had about 20K a month in overhead then with the team. We lose out on 20K, we've already lost out on a bunch of money. Who gives a fuck? So essentially, we brought in a couple new models. They were from our city. We scaled them up immensely through Instagram Reels. We were the first people in the UK to run a very, very big trend. Again, first midget in the UK. First people doing this sort of Reels in the UK. I won't even say what it is, but if you know, you know. We was dominating that space. And we just blew up again. And after a couple nice moves, literally the next month was a 6-figure month. So we went from the whole agency doing 300K a month, getting wiped out, lawyer fees, legal cases, fucking, wasn't even depressed to be honest, but like some nights I was like, what the fuck? To then the next month just being in 100K a month again. And that's because I kept the team. And I trusted myself to bring in the clients. And most people don't trust themselves in those situations to go and bounce back. They lose all confidence, say this isn't for them. All right, I had a good run, I traveled a couple of countries, made some money. It was cool, but it's back to reality now. But no, I knew that I needed more. I knew that I could do it again. So that's exactly what we did. And then from there, scaled things to a whole different level. Started our money coaching group, took things to a whole different level, and started to build not just our agencies, but over 300 agencies to date to 6 figures. Over 300 agencies to 6 figures. 30% of them doing 7 figures. So we took that skill set and we used it to the best of our ability, helping other people go and do the same thing. Obviously, it's been amazing. The people in the group we've connected with, you know, like I say, we've had people that joined at 0 and scaled to 100K per month. We've had people that have joined at 10K and gone on to do like 400K per month within like 30 days. But we also have people that make a lot more money than us join the group. We have people that join the group already making 2 million a month just because they want to connect. And that's why it's good to have a personal brand and it's good to meet people like this. But essentially that's the story very roughly from how I went from delivering pizzas to being here today. Or making my first 10K a month, sorry. That's the title of the video. It was a very hard process, a lot of learning, a lot of character building, a lot of staying locked in, a lot of discipline, but it was very doable, and it is doable for everyone else. I'm not going to waffle for too long. I just had this on my mind, so I thought I'd back up the camera, make a quick video before I go for some nice lunch, go down to Rodeo Drive, maybe get my girlfriend something, because it's her birthday coming up. And yeah, enjoy LA. But for now, take care, Tom Huz. If you want to book in a call with me, you know what to do, and speak soon.